Hi, and welcome to Untethered with Jen Liss, the podcast that's here to help you free yourself from the crap that's holding you back so you can claim the life you're meant to live. I'm your host, Jen, and in this episode, we're going to talk about why you're feeling burnout and what the heck you can do about it. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the podcast. It's Jen. How have you been feeling? It's the full moon week. I always feel extra wolfy the week of the full moon, and that's just how it is. In fact, I'm also starting my period, TMI for some of you, but not really. That's just freaking life, right? And so it's all kind of coalescing together and it just feels so crunchy. You know how just like life, all of a sudden you're like, ugh, like I woke up this morning and I had had a nightmare last night and I just woke up in this like crunchy state that I was like, what the F, man? Why do I feel this way? And I laid there for a bit and just said, you know what, I'm going to wallow for just a moment and then I'm going to get myself out of this. And so then I took some deep breaths. Taking some nice deep breaths is such a beautiful way to change your state. And you will resist it. You will resist it. You won't want to. You're going to want to stay in that crappy feeling. And at least I do. So I took a couple of deep breaths and I eventually pulled myself out of it. And I was like, okay, now I'm good to go for the day. We have a 17-year-old dog. She's almost 17. She's going to be 17 on Saturday. And I walk out. I had gotten myself out of this and was like, okay, I'm out of the snake pit, ready to go. Nice, bright, sunshiny day here in Portland. And I walk out and Abby had pooped and proceeded. She does this pacing thing right now because she's old. And so she just paces nervously around. She had paced through the poop. Y'all, there was shit everywhere. So, we have crunchy days. This happens, right? It happens to all of us. Now, sometimes those crunchy days seem to go on and on and on. We can find ourselves in a pit of frustration, overwhelm, trying, like all of these like feelings that don't feel good, like trying to figure it out. All of these kinds of feelings can lead us into like the for real snake pit of burnout. Hanging out in those negative feels for too long can send us into burnout. And it's hard to find our way out sometimes when we're in that feeling. I have been burnt out. I've been there. I get it. I've totally been there. And it is one of my passions to help more and more people avoid it. It's part of what drew me to breath work, was not only to heal myself, but to be able to heal others, to lead people into their healing, to help them into self-healing, to guide them. And it has transformed my life at so many levels. And so have some of the mindset tools that I have learned over the past few years. Now, mindset, mind and body go together. We do both of these things because they're both so important. In this Thursday thread, I want to thread out a little piece of something that Jen from Becoming Iconic had said. It was like this passing. It was a tiny bit of the conversation, but so stinking important because it's one of those things that we don't realize is giving us these feelings of burnout. This is so important. I cannot stress enough how what I'm about to tell you is impacting your life and can impact your life moving forward. Because one of the things that I did when I took those breaths this morning is part of this. There's a trifecta. You are living this trifecta all day, every day on this as a human being on this planet. This is why you are here. It's why your soul said yes to this amazing adventure that it's on here on this planet Earth. You were brought here with gifts. You were brought here with gifts. And you were meant to apply those gifts, to offer those gifts, to contribute with those gifts. And you were meant to receive the amazing feelings of offering those gifts. This process is your purpose, is your life, is why you're here, continuing to cycle through this amazing trifecta. When you're feeling burnt out, when you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, not having any fun, things are not going well, something is wrong with your trifecta. One of the pieces is not fully aligned, is not being fully fulfilled. So let's go through these one at a time. I will list them. The first is believing and owning your gifts. The second is offering those gifts, contributing those gifts. And the third, what Jen brought up the other day that we are threading out of this episode, the most forgotten one that we forget to do, especially as women, not everyone, but especially as women, receiving from that offering. These three things it's a continuous cycle. It's happening all the time, all day, every day. Now, when it comes to business, when it comes to having a job, when it comes to working, when it comes to the way that our capitalistic society works, the receiving is money. Money is the energetic exchange that we make for our contributions. We receive money. But let's back out of that when we talk about this for a second. So remembering receiving money is one way of receiving. There are other energies that we can receive other than money. Okay. 3D things that we can receive. There are other things other than money. Okay. Now let's back up. Step 1 is believing in and owning your gifts. This entire podcast is basically to harp on this. My entire coaching program is basically to teach this, to help us truly own this. You were brought to this planet. You are magic. You are made of magic. You are actual stardust. You were brought here and put into this human body so that you can have an experience here on this planet. And you, who is having this experience here on this planet, was brought here with some kind of gift to offer into this experience that only you have. You are unique. Your energetic imprint, your soul imprint, you, the essence of you, is completely unique. And you are here to impact, to imprint in your specific way. Okay? Well, that is a whole thing. It just let's just take that at surface level. You were brought here for a reason. You have a purpose. And that purpose is to offer the magic inside of you out into the world. You have something specific that lights you up. There are certain things that only you get lit up by these specific things. Freaking own that. Own that magic. You are magical. You are creative. Just own the fact that that is true. So many of us are not fully owning the fact that we have some gift. There is a gift inside of you, innately in you, not something you've got to go earn. It is you. You are a freaking gift. Believe in that. Truly, truly believe in that. If you don't believe in that, find someone who can help you believe, who can help you see it, who can help you clearly feel that this gift exists inside of you. Okay? That is 1. Number 2, that you can't do fully and just in a fully embodied way unless you totally believe in number 1. We're doing 2 regularly. We naturally do it because it's why we're here. It's our magical imprint that we were meant to come and bring to the world. So you're doing it anyway. You're doing step 2 anyway. When you fully embody step 1 and you're like, I'm owning it. I'm here. I have a gift to offer. Number 2 is so much stronger. So 2 is offering that gift, contributing, sharing it, finding other ways in the world, seeing where people might need that gift that you have and bringing it to them, offering it to them. There is nothing selfish. There is nothing just too bright. There is nothing egotistical about shining that gift, about offering that gift, giving that gift to the world, especially when you're looking through it from the lens that this is a gift that is me offering to other people because they want it, they need it. They're asking for it, not because you think they need to have it. They want it. It's going to help them. It's going to support them by you offering this gift, by you offering this magical gift that you have. It helps them to see their own gift. Like I mentioned in step 1, find somebody who can help you see your gift. When you offer your gift out into the world, it helps somebody else see their own. I'm going to say that again. When you offer the gifts that you have to the world, your sparkly magic, your shininess, your amazing energetic imprint, when you just show up with that fully and completely and then offer it, other people get to see their gifts too. So why do we have a deficit of people using their gifts to their greatest potential? Because you yourself are not showing up fully in yours. That's the best way. We can sit around all day and say, oh, you need to do more of this. You need to do more of that. No, you yourself, like each of us, me, I need to be stepping even more fully into mine, each of us, and then offering it to others, putting it out there, saying, oh, I have this amazingness that I can help you with. Here it is. Do you want it? Here it is. Do you want it? Okay, now step 3 of this process, of this trifecta, of this triad, the third thing is receiving. When you offer that magic that you have to the world, when you put it out there for others to see, for others to even see something cool in themselves, even through that offer, when you put it out there, you feel amazing. It lights you up. It lights your soul on fire to offer that gift to others, to see others accept that gift, to see others seeing your shiny light and then lighting up. Holy banana sandwich, peanut butter banana sandwich. That feels so good because it's what you're meant to do. You're meant to own your gifts. You're meant to offer it and then receive all that goodness. That is what completes the trifecta. If you're not fully receiving the good feels from that offering, from putting your goodness, your juice, your sparkle, your magic out into the world, if you're not fully allowing yourself to feel the sheer joy from that, you're not happy. You're not fulfilled. You're not content because it's what you're meant to do. It's the completion of the trifecta. So we get hung up in that step a lot. We get hung up in all 3 of these steps, right? Like you can feel it. Am I fully owning my gifts? Am I fully believing that I am a magical light beam? I hope you are. Many of us get really stuck there. We're not fully owning it. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, I struggle to fully own it. It's why I am fully invested in coaching and having people reflect my light back to me, in seeking out people in the world who I see doing amazing things, who are offering their gifts, because it's a reflection to me. I'm always looking at those people and saying, oh my gosh, how amazing are they? And then I remember that that's just me seeing my own magic reflected back at me. But without those people who are out there shining for me to see, who are out there offering their gifts, and if I'm not actively looking for them, if I'm not receiving coaching, if I'm not looking for opportunities to grow, then I'm missing a big piece of my trifecta. So there's owning it, and then there's offering it. We feel so good when we offer. It just feels so good to give. Servant leadership, there's a bajillion books and messages written about this. It feels so good. It feels so good to give, to offer. If we're not receiving from that offering, though, that's where we get depleted. We go into martyrdom. We go into overwhelm. We're overgiving. We're people pleasing. We invite in all kinds of things. We get fully into that snake pit when we're not completing the trifecta and allowing ourselves to receive. That reception can be love. That reception can be just like, oh, yummy feels in our gut. It can be money. It can be money. We need money to survive in this world that we are in, because that's the society that we live in. We use money to buy things that help us further feel good, that help us to live in our joy, that help us to be our fullest selves. So it is important to allow ourselves to ask for, to receive money. And that happens in the offer stage, where we offer our gifts and we ask for money in return. Not always, though. Sometimes it's simply receiving, it's offering a hug to a friend, and just during that hug, allowing ourselves to receive their love back, to receive that squeeze and the good feels that we feel in our chest and in our back when they give us that hug. When we're not living in the present moment, we're not fully receiving, allowing ourselves to get that. Now, there are reasons that we don't allow ourselves to fully receive. We have a little bit of a cap, what I call a joy cap, or your joy breaker box. If you go to my website, jenlist.com, you can sign up for, if you sign up for my emails, you can get my joy strategy, which helps you to expand that joy breaker box. I think about joy. We have a cap, how much goodness we can receive. Now, the cool thing is that it's flexible. It's like neuroplasticity. And you actually are working with the neuroplasticity of your brain when you up your joy breaker. But think about your house. Like, there's only so many things that you can plug in and run, and then the breaker flips because it gets overloaded. Well, your brain, your system, your body, your mind and your body have a limit at how much joy can be felt. Your soul doesn't. It's like endless. It's boundless. But you are in this human body who has had a whole bunch of experiences and a whole bunch of emotional imprints, trauma, all of those things. Your joy is set at a certain level. Your reception is set at a certain level. So part of the work that we get to do is to expand our receivership, is to expand our joy. And it's so important. That part of the trifecta, we've got to work on, because we just haven't for a long time. We haven't thought about it in this society. We have so often just given and given and given and lived as those people-pleasing, overachieving, perfectionist martyrs. Wait, am I just describing myself? I am, but I know that there are other people out there who are like that too. So your homework is to think about this trifecta in your daily life. You're doing this. That's the beautiful thing. That's the good news. That's the amazing news. You're doing this anyway. You're naturally doing it. It's what we do as humans, but we could be balancing it out a little bit more. We could be fully owning those gifts. We could be offering them more. If you're not offering your gifts, you do not feel good, because you're supposed to be, or meant to be. Whether you're doing it as a business for money, or whether you're out there doing it just in the world and other ways, in your personal lives, and in your personal life, in your connections, through your work, through charity work, whatever it is, you're offering your gifts, right? You can offer it just in a smile to somebody at the coffee shop, to the guy who pumps your gas. Yeah, here in Oregon, fun fact, in Portland, Oregon, you cannot pump your own gas. So I get to sit in my car and text message, I guess, while people pump my gas. I rarely get gas because I don't drive that much here in Portland. We walk a lot. You're always exchanging your gifts. You're always exchanging your light. Are you fully receiving it? Are you fully just allowing yourself to feel so good while you do that? Now, I think it's so natural for a lot of us to not allow ourselves to receive those good feels. It feels selfish. It feels like, no, I should just do this just because that's what I do. I should just be giving, 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 giving. And that's not okay. It's just not. That's not how we were constructed to be, because we're driven by joy. We're driven by the feeling of shining that light and just receiving the goodness back from knowing that we impacted other people in this world, that we're all allowing just a more and more joyful experience for each of us. That's how we create positive change, truly, is by doing this ourselves. And then others can see that in themselves, like, oh, if she's doing that, if he's doing that, I could be doing that too. That's how we grow. That's how we thrive. So think about where you're at in your trifecta today. Where are things sitting at? No judgment. We're not judging your trifecta. My trifecta was way out of balance this morning, I must say. And that's what I did when I did my breath this morning. I opened up my heart, because what I realized was that my heart, my receivership, was really closed. It was really tensed up. I wasn't allowing myself to receive. Had a lot of things on my plate. A lot of kind of stressful things have happened this week. And I just clamped up and wasn't allowing myself to feel the joy. Like I'd been giving this week. I'd been showing up in my gifts this week. I wasn't receiving it back. So thinking about that trifecta, even every day, just doing a check-in. Am I showing up? Am I offering? Am I receiving? Where am I at with this? Again, no judgment. It is what it is. It's normal for it to be out of balance. Maybe sometimes we need to do a little bit more offering because we just haven't been. Maybe sometimes we need to do a little bit more heart opening, a little bit more receiving, allowing it in. But then maybe we need to teeter-totter it back over into that belief in owning your gifts, back into the offering. It's kind of fun when you think about it. It's like rotating a hula hoop around your hips. Like sometimes you got to like swing that hip out a little bit more in one area to get it going, because it's starting to kind of like teeter a little bit. So I hope that talking about this has been supportive to you in helping you to understand, where is it? And am I feeling burnt out? Because if you're feeling those negative feels, then you're not stepping into one or more of these three things fully. Your joy breaker might need a little bit of raising. Like, how can I like increase the amount of charge that it can receive? If you're feeling those like negative, if you're spending time in that snake pit, think about which section of your trifecta or which sections could you be amping up a little bit. And I promise you, you're going to feel so much better if you do one or more of those three things. I hope this episode has been supportive to you. I really enjoyed sharing it with you. If you have any questions for me about this, you can send me an email. If you have questions and want to go deeper about this, I do coach on this in my program, Made for More. So if you want to learn more about that, you can fill out an application at jenlist.com/madeformore. Again, you can just send me an email. You can send me a DM on Instagram. Everything is down in the show notes. You just keep shining your beautiful, magical unicorn light out there for all to see. I'll see you next time. Bye.